Not one, I must admit, to go on group holidays. I don't think I've don't think I've ever been on a group holiday, but many people do, and they go on cruises and on bus trips and so on. One of the things I'd imagine which can be a difficulty is if you're there with a group of people you don't know, is, well, how you get on with everybody and how they behave, or worse still, how they misbehave. I suppose certainly a cruise ship and even a bus can be a fairly closed quarter environment, because well, you can't just decide if the if your next door cabin neighbours are a bit rowdy or get very difficult to get on with. You can't decide to just walk off and and keep going. There's nowhere to go. You're hemmed in. Because of that, I guess some of the decisions that have been handed down in the last week or so by some of our tribunals and policymakers seem somewhat bizarre, certainly as far as I can see. We had a situation where an organisation which was running holidays wanted to make sure, particularly during the schoolies time, that people under 21 had to be accompanied by an older person, and the Human Rights Commission successfully argued that they were not able to do that. So if you wanted to go on holidays during schoolies time, you've just got to take your risks with everybody else, and even if a firm that wanted to try and help you to avoid that were just simply not permitted in our somewhat overly politically correct society to do that. And in similar ways, there have been a number of decisions that have been put down that have prevented people, particularly going on holidays, from having the sort of holiday that they want. One other organisation wanted to run trips simply for women, because they thought, well, there are a lot of people who are just much more comfortable, women who are more comfortable in the company of other women, simply because maybe they've been on trips before where some of the fellas got a little bit overactive, overindulged in alcohol or whatever, and if they were going to pay their hard-earned money for holidays, they wanted to be free from that. Once again, through VCAT, she was the lady trying to organise that, was told, no, it's going to break the discrimination laws and so on. Against all that, you look back not all that long ago to that dreadful and very publicised case of Diane Brimble, the woman who died within 24 hours of boarding the cruise ship, the Pacific Sky. And that's been a long-running case through our courts, and it's still not finished, but a horrific end for someone who just wanted to go on a holiday. So some of these decisions and some of these policies seem to be a bit strange. As we look at some of the pictures that are coming on our TV screens and in our newspapers of the so-called revellers, don't you love that word, revellers, on the schoolies excursions? It would seem at this stage that the Victorian side hasn't been too bad, but up the Gold Coast it seems to be another story. You wouldn't want to be holidaying up in the Gold Coast at the moment. But it does make you wonder where the common sense of all this goes, that people who, what is supposed to be a free country, just want to simply, within business, cater for people within a more confined and selective area, for those who are willing to go down that path, that they're not permitted to do so. We have a lot of these sort of laws creeping in, maybe storming into our society, which I don't know, I'm just not quite sure whether they're really heading in the right direction. There is that thing called common sense. A number of very common sense commentators commented against these decisions last week, and I must say I happen to agree with them. We need to recognise that people who are, particularly in the travel industry, holiday industry, are dealing with people in a confined area in the main, often enough where they don't have much of a choice. They're away from home, they're away from their normal environment, and some play up and some don't want to be with people who do play up. and maybe we should allow people the freedom to exercise that choice. Good to be with you on Good Morning Geelong.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas all over the city of Greater Geelong. The city streets are coming up with a festive feel as the decorations are being installed across the municipality. The City of Greater Geelong Mayor, Councillor John Mitchell, said the decorations are designed to share Christmas spirit and to encourage residents to do their Christmas shopping locally. Now, the decorations are your traditional red, green and gold colouring, and they're mostly in the main streets. They comprise of large and small stars and flags, there's wreaths and garlands, and there should be a nativity scene being set up on the Little Mallup Street side of City Hall. Now, no sleigh bells or snowmen for our summer Christmas by the Bay, but they do have these two large Christmas trees, one here at the Carousel, and that's down on the waterfront. The second one is in Little Mallup Street Mall. And it's not only central Geelong that has all of these gorgeous decorations. It's spread down to Bowen Heads, Ocean Grove, Drysdale, Port Arlington, Belmont, Highton, Newtown, Corio, Geelong West, East Geelong. And the Mayor said they've spread the coverage into the western suburbs of Herne Hill and also Finesford this year. The decorations have taken about 9 days for council workers to put together, and to quote the Mayor, he wishes everybody a happy and safe Christmas festive holiday season and hopes people get the chance to relax and catch up with family and friends. My sentiments exactly. Good morning Geelong, it's Meryl Friend here and I'm down on the waterfront, and look at these fantastic cars. They've been part of the Gala Day parade down here, and it followed along Mallup Street and came down to Maribel Street, and it turns into this fantastic family fun day for everybody, and what would be a fun day without all those thrilling rides and show bags. There's market stalls and delectable foods for you to enjoy, and it's all a full day, all for the community, and all the proceeds going to the Geelong Hospotal Pt1. Here we are down at the Gala Day festivities on the waterfront for the Family Fun Day, and I have Jason and Dennis with me here, and they're part of the, what's the name of the group?
Harley Davidson Owners Group here in Geelong.
All right, and what are you doing as part of the Gala Days today?
Well, obviously we hold this great event, and I'll hold the poster up. Maybe some of your viewers can, there you go, you can zoom in and see that. We hold every year the charity toy run. It happens on Sunday the 13th of December. Starts from Mercer Street here in Geelong, and we raise charity for a number of different services, and one of them we raise money for is the Geelong Children's Hospital, which is what today is about. But we also raise some funds for Bethany Family Services and Cottage by the Sea, and of course the Queenscliff Coast Guard. So today we're in the Gala Parade, showing our true colours, and then we're down here today selling $2 raffle tickets. Have you bought a ticket yet?
I haven't.
Have you bought a $2?
No.
Oh, get this lady a ticket.
Oh, look,
Okay,
I need to go and get my wallet.
Yes, we'll grab a raffle ticket for you in two seconds.
And what's the raffle going to give me?
So we've got some great prizes. We've got a 42-inch television screen, we've got a Boss home security system, and we have a $1,000 travel voucher from the Flight Centre. So
fantastic.
You can buy a ticket, and if you win the $1,000 flight ticket, we'll go away together on the back of the Harley somewhere, yeah?
I wouldn't mind a ride on a Harley,
We
actually.
can organise a ride in the Harley for you. But Sunday the 13th here in Geelong on Mercer Street. We ride from Geelong all the way through to Port Arlington, stop there, and then through to Queenscliff. We finish up in the Queenscliff Garden Parks there until about 3 o'clock we're there. And any of you viewers that want to come along and say hi, as I said, we're departing Mercer Street at 10:30 in the morning. If you want to donate some toys or charity gifts or anything, all new toys, we can't accept, unfortunately, old toys just from health reasons, but any new toys, drop them down at the Geelong Harley Davidson Centre in 70 to 72 Mercer Street.
All for a great cause. Well done.
Thank you very much, and hi to everybody in Channel 31.
Thank you.